What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 145 of the Nonsense Review. That's right, we are the same length as the Grand Union Canal Race. Oh, that's a pull. I'm your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, that was
But for those of you who don't know, because I think it was a conversation that happened off screen, I said to Rick one day, should I just do number facts every time I say a number? And Rick didn't answer, so I just started doing it. Boy, has it very quickly proven to be really boring once you get over the number 100.
Yeah, is that number wang? That's number wang.
Today we've had a bit of a change of plan. We were going to do one thing. We've shifted over to something else, still Christmas themed. We'll get to that a bit later. So those of you familiar with this podcast know what we like to do before we jump right in is to talk about our weeks and the goings on in the wide universe. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
I finally finished the Pokemon DLC 1's complete Pokédex, so I am now 200 for 200 in DLC 1, a week before DLC 2 drops. My dad has gotten a hearing aid, which is something that has been in the works for a long time, or something that he's needed for a long time, and he's finally admitted to his pride that he needs it, and he's learning to use it.
Yeah, it's always weird, isn't it? Because my dad had the same thing, but with eyesight, in that he needed glasses to watch the TV, and he got glasses because we had an optician come to the house, and then he never wore the fucking things. It was just like, what a waste of time this was.
Yeah. Well, he had the same thing for his reading glasses. Like, he knew that he needed to use them. He even had a prescription, but he didn't want to cash in his prescription until he was 60. In the world, though, if you've ever bought anything from Discovery on PlayStation, which is going to be shows, basically, it's going to get removed from your console thanks to rights issues with Warner Brothers buyout. This is bullshit.
It is bullshit, and it once again loops back around to why people argue that, hey, if you want media and you want to own media, you've got two options. You can buy a DVD that is physical and can never be taken away from you. We're not allowed to say two, but you know what two is.
If buying isn't ownership, then think about the converse. The GTA 6 trailer dropped, and more importantly, the Wallace and Gromit trailer dropped for the Grand Getaway VR experience.
Okay. I've not heard of this, Rick. You can't wait for me to react because I didn't know it was a fucking thing.
So it's just a VR game of Wallace and Gromit, and it looks like it's a nice bit of fun. We've not had Wallace and Gromit in a fair few years, so it's nice to see them again.
Who's doing the voice?
I don't know.
It would have to be an impressionist, because obviously the chap's been dead for about 5 years.
Yeah, Peter Sellers, yeah. Yang Guan and Tian Tian have ended their stay at Edinburgh Zoo, so the UK is now panda-free.
Yes, finally! I can't stress this enough. I couldn't give a fuck about pandas.
They were on loan for China for 10 years, and they stayed for 12, and now we have no more pandas. And the big one this week was the Game Awards. So we got a few winners. Baldur's Gate 3 won the awards overall. Neil Newbon, I tuned in just in time for him to win Performance of the Year. They were the most nominated game, and they ended up with Game of the Year, Player's Voice, Community Support, Multiplayer, and RPG, as well as the voice performance. That's 6 out of 9 they were nominated for.
I don't know how the fuck they got the multiplayer one.
By the same token, however, I don't know how Alan Wake got studio, knowing what we know about Larian, so oh well. And the other one that I have is that Iron Mouse got Creator of the Year.
Yeah, of course, because she's the only one on the list that anyone's fucking heard of.
Yeah.
On this podcast, at least, she's the only one us two have heard of. I will say this, there was a bit of a controversy, there always is, where the Larian head guy was giving his acceptance speech for Game of the Year, and on the teleprompter, they flashed the words, wrap it up to get the speech wrap up, which is perfectly reasonable in most circumstances. However, they decided to flash it when he was running down the names of staff who worked on the game who are no longer with them because they passed away, and it's just like,
yeah, absolutely.
Have a bit of fucking class, VGA. Yes, hurry them up if they're taking too much time, but giving thanks to the people who are no longer there to accept the accolade, I think you can give a pass to.
Yeah. I've just been nodding sagely while you've been saying that. Yeah, this is one thing that you really don't want to rush.
That's allegedly. I've only seen one source for that. It could be bollocks. So please, for fuck's sake, if it comes out that that was not true, my apologies.
Yeah, we've got a couple of announcements as well. As a little bonus for Baldur's Gate 3 winning, they dropped the Xbox version right now. Also on the right now list is FF16 has their first DLC also available right now.
Yeah, guess what? Two of our friends have been talking about that in the the group chat, and I'm just like, I have finished that game. I'm not playing it again.
And by this time next week, the God of War DLC will be out, and that will be a free one. And then we got some releases. We got Zenless Zone Zero, which is the Genshin action RPG. We got Mecha Break, which is halfway between Armored Core and Gundam, and that looks sweet. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which is Budokai Tenkaichi 84.
Oh, it can fuck off then, can't it?
Visions of Mana, which really, really does look nice.
That's a remaster, isn't it?
I don't know if it's a Secret of Mana, like, full-on remake, or if it's just a full-on sequel.
Okay.
But either way, it's a new Mana game. And Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, 2025, apparently.
Yeah, 2025, and you get a legally distinct Chocobo.
That being said, while we're talking about Monster Hunter, they are the first victim of Capcom's dinosaurs waking up.
Are they?
So there's some YouTubers who do a bunch of Monster Hunter videos, and they've got a bunch of takedown notices from Capcom because they've used mods in their footage. Sometimes mods you can't see, and they've just said in the description of the video, we use this mod to get the monster to spawn here so we can make a good video.
Oh.
It's basically Capcom's initial assault on, you don't mod our games, you don't have the fucking right, peasants.
Yeah, because we
Pay
mod our
me.
game and we sell it as DLC. Oh, man. Yeah, when you said dinosaurs waking up, I thought you meant, like, there's multiple dinosaur games. But no, the actual human dinosaurs. But yeah, I think that's about it for what I wanted to talk about this week and about the awards. So, how about you? How has your week been? What have you seen out in the wide, wide world?
So, what have I done? Speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, as I already mentioned to you during the week, I've finally beaten it once. So, that means our retrospectives are now on track. You messaged me about the endgame additional party thing, which makes me think that you also beat the game.
I've not beaten it, but I have seen someone murder someone at the endgame party.
Fair enough then. In other game news, on the PlayStation Plus this month, they included the Power Wash Simulator game, which is a game that I've heard a lot about. Lots of people make videos in it. I've never watched any of them. So I was like, well, this is free. I'll give it a go. Boy, is it fucking boring!
Yep, fair enough. I've heard that it's both boring and therapeutic.
It's got co-op options. I imagine if, we've had occasions, Rick, where we've both been free and you're like, do you want to do something? And it's like, Souls? I'm like, can't be asked for Souls. Can't be asked for this. I want to do something that's mind-numbing. This I could imagine just shooting the shit with someone over while doing pointless bullshit. But the way I was playing it, I was just like, this is shit. I could go downstairs right now, bring my Hoover upstairs and Hoover my room and get the same satisfaction with the additional bonus of having Hoovered my room.
Yep.
I'm sure it's got some things that tick boxes for some people, but it don't tick fuck all for me.
Yep, fair enough.
Haluva Boss, or Vivzy Pop, the channel, they released a music video, a musical song, Just Look My Way.
Okay, I've not seen this one.
It's a Stolas song. It's got story elements in it because he's quite clearly just received the crystal from Ozzy and is going to give it to Blitz probably as a Christmas gift. It's unclear, but that seems to be what the implication is. But it's a melancholic song because Stolas is quite clearly worried that when he gives this stone to Blitz, is he never going to see Blitz again? Because in his mind, it's nagging on him that is Blitz only with him for the book? And us as viewers, we're like, there's clearly Blitz clearly wants there to be something, but he's not the type of person to ever fucking admit it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Good song. The fucking voice actor for Stolas has got fucking musical chops, which we kind of knew already, but it just reinforces that.
Sure.
Rick, I sent you a link earlier in the week, and I'll sum it up as those fucking Etsy witches are at it again.
Yes, they are. This is one of the funniest things in the world to me.
It was funny to me, that's why I fucking shared it. So I look at a bunch of shit on Etsy from time to time, and I'm just like, that's cool. And for some reason, I don't know fucking why, I don't know what I've clicked on to get this targeted towards me, but there's a bunch of sponsored fucking shops that are just a witch's curse. Pay us $50 and we'll curse so-and-so. 100% guaranteed to work fast. And it's the weirdest fucking thing. I've never clicked on them, but just seeing the advert for them is funny.
Yeah, like, we will sacrifice a goat on your behalf and all.
Like, the last time this happened, it was to make covenants with demons, and they were asking for like $2,000 to have a covenant with Beelzebub.
Yep.
And it was like, fuck me, that's... Here's the thing, right? It has to have worked on at least one person, otherwise they wouldn't try and do it. And by that, I don't mean the spell works, I mean someone's paid them money. I want to make that very clear. I don't believe in this bollocks.
Yeah. Like, someone has paid someone some money for this kind of thing, and they're just deciding, let's do it. Let's cast the net further afield. The internet is the biggest net that you can cast. It's more catchment area than our local supply of suckers. So let's have a go. So that's how I see it working anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing when you take the wider lens and realise that's what's happening. But as a random advert while you're looking at fucking knockoff miniatures of Primarchs, it's pretty funny. But yeah, last but not least, on a personal front, I watched a 4-hour-long YouTube video essay.
Oh, okay. What was it on?
Plagiarism and YouTube by H-Bomber Guy. If that name sounds familiar, that's because I mentioned him about 10 months ago when he released his last video.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep.
Yeah, it breaks down a bunch of YouTubers who do quote-unquote video essays, and yes, I am putting it in quotation marks, because as evidenced by the video, they just look for fucking articles on the internet and fucking steal them.
Yeah, just look for an article and read it.
Yeah, but some of them are weirdly sneaky in that their workaround is, well, I credited the source, and their crediting of the source is, here's a big list of links that I took information from. And Rick, I went to college, I had to write papers, and if I fucking did that, I'd get a bollocking.
Yeah, because there's anti-plagiarism software that you can just feed something into and see if there's a 100% match.
I once got told off because my citations were too good, and the reason for that is, the college I went to, the way they wanted to do citations was you put a little a bullet point next to something, and then the bullet point, that you got a list of bullet points at the end. What I did is I copied what Wikipedia did, because I thought it was a better system, and I put in brackets 1, and in my bibliography I put 1. So it's like, if you go from 1 to 1, you go, I got this information by looking at this website.
Yeah. Sounds like the correct way to do it, but yeah.
Yeah, I got told you have to run your thing through this software because we think you stole it, and I'm like, I've cited my sources. You could look at the sources and see that yes, it's the same information because I didn't know that shit before, but I have not copy and pasted it. You fucking dick. And I ain't done that bullshit thing as well that some of these people do, where I've taken 2 words and swapped the order, which is bollocks.
Yep.
Oh goodness. But yeah, it's a fucking hell of a watch. It was well worth the time. It ends on a real dour note because of the actual subject source of the video, who I will not say because I don't want to spoil the big twist. But it does focus on one person in particular at the end. That being said, it also focused on the internet historian, and I only bring that up because I mentioned a while ago that I watched Man in Cave, and I went, wow, this is a really good video. This is really good. He fucking copied it, pasted point by point from a fucking article, and did not credit it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that was disappointing. I'm like, oh well, cool. And here's the thing, and it makes the point in this video essay as well by H-Bomber Guy. If someone's done it once, they have almost certainly done it multiple times, and you just don't know it because you can't find the shit they stole.
Oh yeah, totally.
So yeah, good video, bit depressing, but very insightful. And if you don't know what plagiarism is, I recommend watching it for sure, because you'll be able to find out the signs a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Rick, are you ready for some kind of news?
Let's go.
We got our first bit of an update on Stardew Valley 1.6 in the form of it will have big chests. That's all the information we got.
Yeah, I recently read a tweet by the guy who made Terraria.
Oh, yes, because this has been pasted fucking everywhere this weekend.
Yeah, despairing that his girlfriend was just fangirling over Stardew Valley.
Yeah, you mentioned there were some announcements at the VGA Awards. There was one announcement that piqued my interest, mostly because I sort of rolled my eyes at it.
Go ahead.
Skull and Bones has got an official release date of February the 16th, 2024, to which I said, as I read it, the fuck it is. I'm not one of these people who goes, oh, I'll bet this doesn't happen, or I'll bet that, and it's some outlandish thing, because I generally don't think this game will ever fucking come out. However, I am open to the possibility of being pleasantly surprised.
Yes.
Fuck me, man, this game's been in development hell for, it was meant to come out, it was announced after Black Flag, which was a game on the PS3.
Yes.
That's got to be at least like 7 or 8 years, right?
Oh, minimum, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was late game PS3, because it had a simul release on 3 and 4, so it's one of those. But it's been a minute, I can't exactly be asked with exact dates. I feel like it was like 2014, which is damn near 10 years.
It is. Like, I think 2012 was like when the PS4 was new. Like 2012, 2013. So that's, yeah, around 2013, maybe 2014 at the latest. latest is the time frame for having things come out on PS3 at the same time.
Unless you're FIFA, in which case, like, FIFA 22 was like the last game on the PS3 or something. FIFA's dumb. Yeah, I don't think this game's ever coming out, but boy, will I be glad when it does, and then disappointed when there's no way it lives up to the fucking hype.
Oh no, it'll never live up to the hype. They've got Sea of Thieves to contend with, they've got someone else's homework to copy.
I don't want Sea of Thieves, I want what they promised, which was a game that's just the Black Flag ship combat.
Yes.
Which is not what Sea of Thieves is, and if anyone tells you that's what Sea of Thieves is, they're fucking idiots.
Sure.
Anyway, Rick, what the fuck are we doing today?
Oh yeah, so we're doing Mickey Saves Christmas. It's a Disney Plus short. Well, it's not even a short, it's like a full-length cartoon. So if you'd like to join in with us at home, it's 3, 2, 1, and go.
So yeah, just a bit of a backstory for those of you watching. What happened was we decided to look up things to do today. I just typed Christmas into Disney. I randomly found this, and I said to Rick, "Oh my god, that looks so wrong, we gotta do it."
Yeah, my first thought of seeing a still was, man, it looks like a shitpost. However, seeing it in motion, it looks way better than the stills.
It absolutely does. And that being said, Clarabelle and Pete, that's a weird coupling.
It is, but I don't hate it.
It's because Peg Pete is dead in this universe. Here's the one thing I do enjoy about this current song is you can quite clearly hear Goofy's voice in the song.
It's real easy to do Goofy.
Yeah, but it's another thing to do it while singing.
Yeah, I suppose.
No, they don't. They all want iPads. I'm not wrong.
Yeah, because everything you're asking for is a thing that you're asking for, you can just get an iPad version of. Except maybe a kitten.
What the fuck? Pluto don't look right.
No, he don't.
So what have they done here? It's like claymation, but with dolls. Like fabric dolls.
I'm pretty sure it is just 3D CGI, but using, like, photorealistic doll models.
Is it? Because it looks like it might be legit stop motion.
It could be, because, like, if you see Mickey's eyes, he's got, like, his eyes seem to be, like, behind a piece of glass.
Yeah, it could very well possibly be, like, they're
like,
doing claymation,
motion,
but they've got no eyes, so they just green screen that.
Okay.
I'm just spitballing here. I could be talking mad shit and it's not stop motion at all. It's just because of the specific motions and the fact they're not doing anything too advanced with how they're moving makes me feel like it's stop motion.
Yeah, like, respect if it is. And even if it's not, it's still a decent art style.
Yeah? Well, I don't think Mickey works in the art style, but yeah, the art direction is interesting.
Well, it's modelled after what the costumes are in, like, Disney World.
Sure.
In fact, I think that's exactly what it's modelled after. Six-seater sleigh. Stretch sleigh.
Oh, look at that, I googled it. In this stop-motion adventure...
Cool, okay. Well, respect then.
Sorry, that you should not be putting Chip and Dale next to quote-unquote real animals. Because they look wrong. Was that even Chip and Dale? I don't know.
If it zooms in on them again, we'll see if one of them has a red nose.
I don't think they did. I think I saw two brown furry things. That's not a weird word to say. And
just assumed that they were chipmunks. The chipmunks.
Yeah. Were Chip and Dale chipmunks?
I think so. That or ground squirrels.
Fair enough.
Some kind of rodent, anyway.
Yeah, which means that it's okay to exterminate them. I don't understand what Pluto wants. Does he want to play fetch with the bone?
I think he just wants attention.
Well, he's been getting attention. That's why I think he wants something specific.
Yeah, maybe he wants a new bone with actual meat on it.
Okay, fucking weirdo.
Oh, it's a squeaky bone.
Ah. Yeah, so he wants to play fetch. Oh, he did just want to play fetch.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. You called it. Mystery of the year, 2023.
Well, I didn't really understand what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Well, someone's getting some coal, isn't he? Sorry, we all know Santa only has a nibble of one biscuit.
Yeah. Otherwise, your dad gets diabetes.
Okay.
Yeah, if this wasn't a cartoon dog, that creature would be dead.
Squirrels are pretty fast. My dogs have never successfully caught a squirrel, so no.
Okay, fair enough.
This looks like a Santa Claus from, like, Robot Chicken.
It does a bit, doesn't it? It's like a weird, uncanny valley halfway house between a Mickey Mouse animal and a Robot Chicken crap Santa.
Yeah, one that shits in your stocking.
Yeah, the one that shits down your chimney.
Well, that was a cute gag.
Yup. Oh, does he have rocket boosters on his sleigh?
Well, how else does he go into space?
I do appreciate that Goofy calls him Santa Claus.
Yep. It's a pretty fucking casual reaction to nearly necking Santa.
Oh no, there goes the prezzies.
Oh, some of them float. Never mind. What? How does the expression go? Fuck them kids. As long as I get mine.
Yep.
Bullshit. Do they get holiday? Like, I'm shitting on this a little bit because it's such a generic plot, but it's really hard to get to be malicious because it's just that the animation is just so charming, and I think it's because I'm a sucker for stop motion.
Yeah. And like even Santa's trying to be a good guy. Okay, so Pluto gets to join in with the reindeer. Sweet, I get a day off.
That reindeer should have been like, thank fuck, I'm free.
Yep. Got a unionized reindeer.
Why is this random reindeer getting so shit on? And how come all the other reindeer aren't like, hey buddy, stop fucking around?
Probably because this is how they were all recruited.
If your sleigh's got rocket jets, why the fuck do you even need a reindeer? My brain went to a real dark place. Like, that sleigh may as well have been invented by Wallace.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like it, actually. Okay, so the reindeer that's getting a holiday actually gets to take a vacation day.
Yeah, that being said, apparently this is set in 1985.
Okay.
On the calendar, it had the big old number, 1985, and I don't know why it would have that there if it wasn't 1985. Explains why the kids don't want iPads.
I wonder what this button does, and it turns on lights on the roof that goes "Merry Christmas 1983."
I'm just going to have to smile and nod because your mic was awful there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So wait,
man, the North Pole's got Mickey's fucking head on it.
I mean, yeah, Disney does basically own everything.
Yeah, yeah.
You will be future slaves. I can't get over it. Mrs. Claus also looks like she'd fit right in with Robot Chicken.
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of the problem with stop motion. That, like, you have to do something real different to look like it's so distinct from Robot Chicken.
No, but the Disney characters are fine. It's just Santa and Mrs. Claus that look out of place. Even the reindeer don't look like they're in Robot Chicken. They look like their own sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like that detail, find her, because as we all know, all of Santa's reindeers are female.
Yeah. It's the mouths.
Yeah, maybe.
The mouths have no depth, whereas the Disney characters have like 3D mouths that have depth.
Kind of. I don't think it's the mouths. I think it's specifically the lips, because no one else has lips because they don't need them.
Yeah. I think it's like basically the same concept, different wording, but yeah.
Oh, cool, another musical number. See, this is what Amazon wants you to think Amazon warehouses are like.
Yeah. It always gets me that Santa has a naughty list and he doesn't share it with the authorities.
I lost all the nouns in that one.
That Santa has a naughty list and he doesn't share it with the authorities.
I mean, yeah, but it's child naughty list, which means unless you're fucking Jamie Bolger, like, it just means you're stealing cookies. Which, if you give a kid a lump of coal for stealing cookies, you're a bit of a prick. That is a horrifying duck.
Man, I don't think I've ever known anybody, even someone who was a little shit, who never got Christmas presents.
Yeah, because it's just a tactic by parents to try and get you to rein in your behaviour.
Yeah. Even Bart gets Christmas presents, and he's a little shit.
Yeah, but by American standards, he's an angel, because he never gets a Glock.
Yeah.
We love working at Amazon. It's so fun. I haven't seen my family in weeks.
Yeah, we've got our dedicated piss bottles and everything.
Yeah, we need to use the piss bottles, because if we leave the line for more than a minute, it gets taken off of our break.
Yep.
Which we also usually have to skip.
Mm-hmm.
That is a absolutely great way of fucking censoring Santa Claus, is he just says jingle bells and says, ah, bollocks.
Is he going to wish upon the star?
I love how the two little reindeer are like, what's his problem? And the other one's just like, I don't give a fuck, man. We're gonna...
Yeah, because they can't speak.
Why the fuck would you put the motor in before painting it?
I don't know. I like how they're using a little piece of, like, wool for the propeller.
Yeah, it did look it, didn't it?
Yeah. It's cute.
So did Pluto fuck Christmas up again?
Only a little bit.
You spent all night making dozens of presents when you only need like 6.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that earlier, Minnie? We are on a fucking schedule. Bezos will be very angry.
Yeah, do not anger the Bezosians.
We're being quiet, but there's not a lot to riff off right now. It's just Santa Claus being a bit of a prick.
Yeah, they're just recounting one of the Santa songs.
But none that are licensable, because Disney ain't going to pay any more than they have to.
Well, it's one that's in public domain already. It's the Ho 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 Who Wouldn't Go song. But they've also changed the words slightly.
But could you imagine if Santa just went, our favourite song, Fairy Tale of New York, and Mrs. Claus just calls him a... Well, I probably shouldn't say that word out of context, but you know.
A scumbag and a maggot, yeah. Good job, Mickey, for learning the kid reindeer's names already.
They weren't difficult names, to be fair.
No.
Yeah, nothing beats child slavery.
Yeah.
We pay them
this
in eggnog
clearly
and carrots.
even heavier than the one with rocket boosters.
Even though it's got rocket boosters, it's made of a sleek, fine aluminum. Whereas this...
Yeah.
And by the way, I use the term aluminum in the same way that I use fucking Padamame. I say it because it's funny, not because it's correct. I obviously mean aluminium.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fucking hell. Do you have any words like that, Rick, which you just say wrong on purpose because you find it funny? I call people maroons a lot because I also find that quite funny.
Yeah, maroon is a good one, yeah. I say mun now and again.
What, mum?
Mun as in a man.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
like the way that you shorten the vowel when you say milkman or postman or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's a northern thing.
Although half the time I just say milkman.
That's fair.
Or milko, to be honest, because...
Man, I don't think we even have milkmen down here anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. I've never not had a Milko.
Fair enough.
Well, except for when I was out of the county and like at uni for a couple of years. Opened the fucking presents and everything.
You didn't try very hard to remedy it at the time, but okay. Bastard.
I like that. Yeah, the one that is stirring is a mouse.
Oh, I'm so annoyed. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Why do you even... Oh...
Yeah, like the reason Santa comes down the chimney is so that stuff doesn't end up in the fireplace. Which, by the way, I think I told you about this in the past, but my uncle once put some of the Christmas presents up the chimney and then forgot about them, and when they lit the fire later on in the year, having lost the presents, they set them all on fire.
What a fun Christmas.
Yep.
Oh, we've all been in a situation where it's like, oh, we brought 2 cars, so someone's going to have to ride the other one back.
Yeah.
I'm getting real bothered. If Santa has this much magic, why does he need to do all this fucking effort?
A peppermint bone.
Oh, he's going to be shitting like a good one. I like that. I do like that. Hey, David Brooks, Kim Duran. Good fucking job.
Yeah.
2 minutes of credits. Oh, bollocks. Well, shit. We're gonna... Disney Plus did that thing again, Rick.
Okay, so I also saw that it was going to happen and was able to keep pace with it. So I'm still in the episode.
Okay, cool.
We've now finished the regular credits song, and now we're into the international credits.
Cool, that's fine.
Another 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
That's really interesting. That is because that means either they had a really small animation staff or they didn't fucking credit them.
Entirely possible.
Well, because when I got booted out, they were just doing the voice cast. Usually the animation is just after that, so I'm relying on you to tell me what happened, and if you weren't paying attention, we're in right fucking trouble.
Yeah, so I wasn't really paying attention to who was actually on the staff.
I'm not bothered about specifics as long as they credited them.
So again, wasn't really looking. I was looking at the visuals, not the actual credit words, and it was just them just finishing up the little song and Pluto playing with his bone.
Rick, I say this with all due respect. You fucking prick.
Well, all right.
I'm still watching the credits for us. Don't worry. I'm not going to pay attention to who's on the credits, but I am looking at it still. That's what you just said to me.
Well, okay. It's more for the timing than anything else, because we know we like to run out the international credits before we call it and start saying what our favourite moments and all that were.
Yeah, well, we kind of have to because of the time stamping. Because unlike other reaction YouTubers, we don't steal the video and put the video on our YouTube for other people to watch because we don't take people's shit.
Yeah.
Except for Wander Over Yonder, but, you know, they McCracken and Disney apparently don't give a fuck about that. So...
Yeah. Yeah, like literally episode 1 we did it. Episode 2 we did it and we got a takedown notice, so we had to alter it.
Well, I just blurred it out because I still maintain that the form in which I put that the visuals were unwatchable. But apparently Hasbro disagreed, and I think that's just because Hasbro are dicks. Well, not even dicks, they're just hyper-aggressive when it comes to protecting their property. And you can't blame them. They constantly lose fucking money because they're shit as a business. And no, this isn't personal, that's just a fact. They're butchering Magic the Gathering and D&D because their other ventures are shit.
Yeah. They're just trying to extract as much money out of nerds as possible.
Very good, Rick. So what did you think?
It was a charming spectacle, but I don't think it's a compelling enough thing to watch year on year. It's not exactly the Snowman. How about you? What do you think?
Rick, honest to God, have you ever watched Snowman more than once?
Yes.
Wow, okay, fair enough. I've watched it once. I've watched the song many a time, and the animation with the song. So from that degree, I agree with you. None of the songs here were worth re-listening to.
Oh, yeah. So, remember that I am older, and, there wasn't a lot to do on Christmas before the internet. So
I mean, Rick, I am also the generation that had internet. Well, not generation. I'm of the level of person that didn't have internet for a long time because of my family situation. The traditional thing in our household on Christmas Day was to watch The Great Escape because it's always on Channel 4 on Christmas fucking Day.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about The Great Escape, I can talk about that film at length.
Yeah. So it wasn't even a thing that we watched as a family. Basically, I put a tape on and it was the Christmas tape and I watched it. Yeah.
That's fair. As for my thoughts, I kind of agree with you. I've seen this once. I don't feel the need to see it again. That being said, I have a soft spot in my heart for stop motion, and this... If the people animating this didn't get a fucking credit, I will be outraged on their behalf. I have to imagine they did, and as you said, you weren't paying attention. We're over that. That's fine. Yeah. But it'd be very weird. Disney are shits, don't get me wrong, but they do tend to at least credit people.
Yeah, it's possible they just credited a subcontracted studio rather than just individual animators and operators.
Maybe so, but I don't actually know what the situation is because they had their own stop motion department for a while. Funded it for Burton, and
yeah, totally.
I think they more or less scrapped it after that, but maybe they didn't. Anyway, either way, it was very nice. Despite the simplistic movements, it's kind of a limiting factor of the medium.
It's one of those. It's more a feature, not a limitation. Like it's what adds to the charm, in my opinion.
Yeah, you gotta. Well, I think it is a limitation in the sense it's something you've got to work around. But people who know what they're doing with stop motion work around it masterfully. Like I can't believe they managed. I remember my mind being fucking blown by Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Yeah. Like being a genre-defining limitation. Yeah, fair enough. I'll accept that it's a limitation on that grounds. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, limitation isn't a bad thing. It's just a fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like NES games.
Don't forget the reason why in Nintendo Mario Kart, the reason why the weapon system is the way it is because the very first one could only render 4 carts at a time, so they needed a way to make sure there was no way of having more than 4 carts on screen at a time. I love goofy shit like that, but yeah, I might be butchering it slightly, but that is the gist. That being said, Rick, we should get in our usual wind down, so let's start with the norm. What was your favourite moment?
I'm gonna go with the moment that we realised that it was stop motion.
When you say we...
Okay, so the moment that we realised that it was charming, so like between seeing the still of how it looked before we started and it starting, there was dread, and then when it started and it was charming, that was like, oh man, okay, this actually looks good.
Okay, I understand why you use the word dread, but for me, it was... I was champing at the bit because I was like, this looks shit. This looks like people in bad costumes.
Yeah. So, So the moment that the charm was unveiled. How about you? What was your favourite moment?
Honestly, I think it was probably the compilation around the Christmas tree where they were finishing up the decorations, setting out the cookies, and finishing it off with a quick snap of everyone in front of the tree. Because that's the moment I like to see in Christmas shorts. And let's be honest, 24 minutes is average length for a cartoon, but compared to seasonal givings, it's quite on the short side.
Yeah.
Rick, what was your weakest link?
The plot.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. It was a simple plot. I don't think there was anything outright bad about it, but go on, share your thoughts.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, it was just weak. I think they could have done more with other characters. Like, they showed Pete and Henrietta. Like, I would have really liked to have seen them do more in this. And just Pete not being a villain is nice.
But here's the thing, though. It's like, even in Goof Troop, he wasn't a villain. He was just a bit of a dick.
Yeah, he was just a neighbour. Yeah. He was a neighbour, and he was actually Goofy's friend, even though he was a bit of a knob sometimes. There are things that they could have done that they didn't, and the plot could have been more than just an insipid Christmas story, but it's fine. How about you? What do you reckon? What was your weakest link?
Yeah, I think the weakest link was definitely the fact that we stumbled upon this by accident, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you'd have heard anywhere before now, did you know that last year Disney put out a stop-motion animation? You'd be like, hold the fucking phone, they did what in 2022?
Yeah. Disney seemed to not be able to do a great deal of good advertisement for their things. Like, recently, there's a reason for it, and it's because of the Screen Actors strike, but, like, it seems that the only things they really advertise are the obvious things, like...
Hey man, sign up for Marvel, sign up for Star Wars. Fuck our animation department, they're dead. But Star Wars, though!
Yeah, but don't talk about the ones that are coming out during the Screen Actors strike, because we can't advertise that due to the strike.
Man, what's the next Marvel thing coming up? Echo! Who gives a fuck about Echo? Sorry, people who worked on Echo, but I don't care. Alright, Rick, let's end on a nice little highlight for Christmas, and that's the only reason we're doing it. Who is your MVP?
I'm gonna go with the animators, as in, like, Disney Animation Studios, whoever actually did the stop-motion animation, because that is what made this short.
I mean, absolutely, man. Stop motion is all in the animation. Granted, we're a bit biased with stop motion, because you and I, we're British, and we were born in the 90s. It's relevant, trust me, I'm not being a fucking weirdo about it, but we were more or less brought up on Wallace and Gromit's free specials.
Yes, absolutely. And if you go back far enough, when the 2 specials became 3, I was around for that.
Damn! Living history right here, guys.
Yeah. I remember, like, I was upstairs at my grandma's house on the tiny telly on the bed, because I really wanted to watch the new Wallace and Gromit that was coming out, and man, that was a fun day. That was a fun time.
Which was the third one? That was the Baker, wasn't it?
No, the Baker was like the 4th. I think that was after the movie. The 3rd one was the one with Preston, the Cyberdog.
I don't remember that.
It's where they're rustling sheep to turn them into dog food.
Oh, okay, cool. So the Baker was the 4th one. The second one was Psychopath Chicken, the wrong trousers.
Yeah, and the first one was just going to the moon because it's made of cheese.
Cheese, Gromit!
The moon's made of cheese. Everyone knows that.
Watching the first Wallace and Gromit is the hardest because it's the most apparent ghetto-ass shit they've ever done.
Yes. And it goes a long time in between a lot of lines because it's just showing Wallace just move around and just do his thing. And it's not until the wrong trousers that he carries the narrative a lot more, even just on his own, you know. But yeah, how about you? Sorry, what's your MVP?
Yeah, MVP's very obvious to me. It's got to be Mickey the Mouse.
Okay.
Do you want to ask why I said Mickey the Mouse?
Why Mickey the Mouse?
Because fucking ages ago, Russell Brand took the piss out of an animator who got Mickey Mouse's name wrong because he called him Mickey the Mouse, and it's been stuck in my head for about 15 fucking years. Did I say Russell Brand? I meant Russell Howard.
Yeah, Mickey. I can see Russell Howard picking that up as a thing, halting whatever's happening on, like, I don't know, Mock the Week or whatever. It's just going, I'm sorry, Mickey the Mouse.
Yeah. It was his own show as well, where he took the piss out of news.
Oh yeah, good news. Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Mickey Mouse is the obvious winner for me because, sorry, I realised I didn't give a reason. I don't feel like I have to. Watch the short, you'll know why he's the reason. He was the most fun, uplifting part of the show.
Donald, Goofy, and even Minnie weren't really in there. And Daisy was there too, I guess.
Yeah, Minnie was just there to reveal the fact that she's secretly into BDSM.
Yeah.
And I think we have our title. As you know, we need to say goodbye to the audience. Join us next week where, weirdly enough, we're doing something else that's stop motion, we think, unless they've changed the CGI, but it's Aardman, so...
Yeah, we're doing Aardman. We're doing not quite Wallace and Gromit, but same studio.
Yeah, absolutely. Got suggestions or ideas, we've got the comment section down below on YouTube. Alternatively, you can send us an email at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Yes. Join us again next week, guys. We're looking forward to having you.
Ta-ra!